The Grand Hall of the Interstellar Council had never been silent like this before. Ambassador Valorith of the Kreth Dominion tapped 4 of his 6 fingers on the obsidian table, scanning the chamber. Every seat was filled. The tall, crystalline delegates of the Myron Collective, the gas-shrouded envoys of the Doric Union, the silent, cloaked watchers from the outer fringe. Every seat except one. The human seat. Where, Valorith said slowly, is Representative Hayes? No one answered, because no one knew. Colonel Marcus Hayes had not slept in 2 days. He stood inside the U.S. Resolute, Earth's diplomatic vessel, reading the same document for the 8th time. His aide, Lieutenant Dana Kowalski, set a coffee beside him without being asked. They voted against us again, she said. It wasn't a question. Unanimously. Marcus set the document down. Trade sanctions. Resource embargoes. They've reclassified human expansion zones as contested territory. He almost laughed. We've been paying council dues for 30 years. 30 years of soldiers, of engineers, of our people bleeding on border wars that were never ours. Dana was quiet for a moment. So what do we do, sir? Marcus picked up the coffee, drank, set it down, pack everything. It happened with no ceremony, no announcement, no angry speeches. At 0300 hours, the U.S. Resolute undocked from Council Station Meridian. At 0400, the human trade post on Vega 7 went dark. By morning, every human military liaison had boarded their vessels. Every human engineer had closed their toolkits and walked away from the 17 infrastructure projects they'd been running across Council space. The water reclamation systems on Kreth Prime, the quantum relay network that connected 6 of the 12-member worlds, the medical stations orbiting the Doric homeworld. No goodbyes, no handover documents, no instructions. They simply left. It took the Council exactly 11 hours to understand what had happened. Valorith received the first alert at noon. The quantum relay grid was failing. Without human technicians, none of them knew the maintenance protocols. The relay system had been designed by humans, built by humans, sustained by humans. The documentation existed, but it was dense, layered, written in a human engineering language that translated poorly. The second alert came an hour later. Kreth Prime's water reclamation output had dropped 40%. The third alert was the worst. The Doric ambassador, Counselor Yes, stood in the chamber, her composed exterior cracking for the first time in recorded memory. The orbital medical stations, she said quietly. They are unpowered. Are sick. We can send our own engineers, Valorith interrupted. We don't have engineers for this, she replied. We outsourced it. We have outsourced it for 20 years because the humans were cheaper, faster, and more capable, and we never asked why. The room fell into a specific kind of silence. The silence of people who have said something cruel to someone, watched them walk away, and only then understood the full weight of what they'd done. 3 weeks later, Valorith sat alone in his office, drafting a message to Colonel Marcus Hayes. He had rewritten it 9 times. Every version sounded like begging, because it was. The Council had lost more in 23 days than they had built in a decade. And the humans had done nothing violent, nothing aggressive. They had not fired a single weapon. They had simply stopped helping. Valorith finally sent the message. The reply came back in 4 minutes, faster than he expected, which meant Hayes had been waiting for it. It read, "We're listening, but this time, you'll come to our table." Colonel Marcus Hayes, United Earth Diplomatic Command. Valorith stared at those words for a long time. Then, for the first time in 30 years of negotiations, the Kreth ambassador stood up and prepared to ask rather than demand.